Hello, and welcome to ATL by Moonlight, Chapter 1, Built on Ashes. Let's welcome our werewolves.
Hi, I am Ellie Collins, and I am playing Gracious Moon, aka Moonie.
Hey, I'm Jesse Jerdak, and I am playing Father Odhrán Martyr.
I'm Noordin Kadir, and I'm playing Rumi.
I'm KP, and I'm playing Vrika Bal.
I'm Autumn Ivy, and I'm playing Flynt.
I'm Dillin, and I am playing Michelagh, like Shillelagh.
And I am your storyteller for this special Werewolf the Apocalypse miniseries, Ian E. Muller. Don't forget to check our Linktree and support our wonderful sponsors. This is a special Werewolf the Apocalypse miniseries using adapted 5th edition rules, so please enjoy and keep in mind that these rules are not canon for the World of Darkness. We are using official material and material that has been teased by Paradox and Renegade, but stay tuned for the latest updates from them for official Werewolf the Apocalypse material. And now, sit back, relax, and let's tell a story of rage.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Soon as we step out the cage, we raising all of the stakes. Make no mistake, either you stay in your place or we putting you on a plate. Look at our face, we put the fear in the dirt. We had to struggle for change, pick up the pace. We put in infinite work, that's why we stay getting paid. We innovate, we always switching it up. They can't predict what we say. Come out the cave, they see the blood on our shirt. They see the teeth in the fangs. They watching tape, still trying to figure us out. They think we came here to play. They sending snakes, they trying to give us a curse. Ain't no more running away. They tryna trace, they tryna follow our steps. They tryna copy the wave. Boy, that's your name. That's why they keep getting curved. You gotta stay in your lane. They wanna claim that we not giving them work. Like this is minimum wage. Boys, you crazy. Why you keep feeding the beast? Now that you open the cage, nobody's safe. Yeah, yeah. Nobody's safe.
Our story begins with a pack loosely knit together by common purpose, recently arrived at a cabin on the northeastern coast of Lake Lanier, just northeast of Atlanta. Gathered together by Gracious Moon, or Moonie, to her sept and friends, this pack is mostly meeting for the first time. Moonie?
Hey everybody, thanks for coming here. Sorry to call you all on such short notice. This is just kind of a stressful situation for me, and I really only trust fellow Garou to handle it. We think that there might be a cairn under Lake Lanier, and I sent a couple of my Glasswalkers, a small group of them, up, and they have not come back in a while. And we're not very adept at things like this, so...
Things like what?
We stick to the city. We don't particularly investigate the wilderness.
Weak.
The Glasswalkers. We have about 2 square miles of the city that we handle ourselves. But Atlanta does not have much for wilderness.
Yes.
Well, good, then you crowd the right person for the job.
Thanks for coming, Flynt. Seriously.
I owed you a favor. This will be the last favor.
Understood. Clearly. But I've got this cabin for all of you. However you need it, decent home base. Lake Lanier itself is, well, the easy way is to say it's haunted. But I'm sure you all know that's a little bit more complicated for people like us. So you can understand why I'm concerned that my pack members have not returned.
Yeah.
How many and what are their names?
There's 4 of them. Their names are Tank, Streetwise, Slaughter, and Brightfang.
Those are great names.
thank you. They chose them. Well, except
when we find them, I'll let them know that they picked great names.
God, you were just so inspiring.
Thanks.
And thank you, Father, for being here. I know this is not exactly something you're enthused to be a part of. Garou business.
I live to serve, of course.
Thank you.
Father,
Yes, well, not biologically, but yes.
So we haven't heard anything from any of these packmates.
Nothing. They came up here about 4 days ago. Nothing since.
what was the last thing?
They told me that they arrived and they were going to start looking into things. That was about it.
You said there were ghosts. Sorry, it's haunted.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
So, like, what kind of ghosts?
I would recommend not swimming in the lake kind of ghosts.
Ooh.
Lake Linnea has it has a history of a kind.
It's a very terrible history of a community that felt the need to harm people of color, and rightly the land is cursed for it.
Oh.
Well, good thing I don't swim, so that's a benefit here.
I don't like water.
No.
But we also have reason to believe we have a local division of what the vampires call Ignatius Pharmaceuticals, the Second Inquisition. They run pharmaceutical companies all over the city, getting into shit that they shouldn't. And I believe that they are a part of Pentex as well.
Do you think they had something to do with what's going on in Linear? In the lake?
I've learned in the most recent years to not count out anything that they might be doing. And if there's a cairn here, Pentex is probably doing its best to be a part of it.
Are we expecting any of them to be at this? Sorry, did you just ask that question?
I don't know if any Pentex will be here, but if they are, I don't think anyone will miss them.
So we are allowed to go and
Do
take care
what
of
we
them.
need to?
You're allowed to do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Good.
What exactly are you insinuating?
Probably not the best for the weakest of stomachs.
My stomach is...
I'm not suggesting you. I'm just saying.
No, I like his vibe. Sometimes the problem takes care of itself. We're just here to take out the trash.
And if you can, recover my pack by any means necessary.
Oh yeah, we'll get them too. That's fine.
This... cairn. You wish to claim it?
I don't have much desire to. It's well out of my jurisdiction.
What would you propose we do with it? Assuming that you're right about that. The cairn.
Whatever will keep the area protected.
Fair enough.
Places like that are old and often powerful. It'll have its own defenses.
Yeah, but we're gonna get through them.
You know, you're just a bright ray of sunshine.
Try meeting her at an airport.
Fair enough.
The lighting's not my favorite.
So, would you say that you have plans for our defenses against that? In the off chance something goes awry?
I had no intention of joining this little meeting at all until I, I have a message for this one.
Oh?
Do you mind giving us the room for just a moment?
I mind.
Please, I'll owe you.
Vrika, let's
You'll
get-
owe me? Alright, fair enough. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's your funeral buddy owing Flynt.
Okay,
I
so
follow father's lead.
everyone except for Rumi and Moonie exits the cabin.
Michelagh pauses and before leaving, like, does that mean me too?
I would so much appreciate it if you wouldn't. They must need company.
You're right. Okay.
Those of you who step outside, there's a little bit of a chill in the air. Fall in Georgia it doesn't get that cold, especially where some of you are from, but you're feeling it today. Night is starting to fall. You can kind of see lights across the lake from Margaritaville and some of the campgrounds and towns that are on the other far side. But the lake is calm for now. Would you like to look around, or are you just going to wait to be invited back inside?
What does Storyteller, may I ask, what does this cabin look like on the outside? So we've exited the door.
Mm-hmm.
So is there windows?
There are windows. They're curtained. It is a pretty basic log cabin style. It's probably like 20 by 30. So it's studio-esque in that it's open concept. There is a sleeping area, kitchen, living room, fireplace, but it's kind of just one big room.
And they're located near an entrance or exit or a window.
Yeah, we would probably be near the living room.
Yeah, probably near the fireplace in the living room. I don't know if it's lit or not. That would be up to you.
I would have had it lit.
Okay, then yeah, lit fireplace.
Okay.
Near a window probably as well.
Okay. Flynt would absolutely be leaning against the external, right next to a window.
Trying to listen in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I leave for nothing.
If you said, I apologize. Can we see the lake from here in any vantage point? We can.
Yep. The cabin is kind of on a hill that there's a slope that goes down to a beach, and you can see straight out into the lake.
Yeah, and there is a dock with a motorboat.
Oh.
Okay.
Nope, don't like that.
All right. What is it?
I have heard it from a reliable source passed through down my people that there is an old spirit regaining strength here in Atlanta. And I've been warned that in a way it will change the fate of your people. Whether for good or ill, I do not know.
That's delightfully fucking ominous. That would explain a lot of things.
Messages like this are really easily carried over phone, especially considering, as you pointed out, mortals have been... Humans try to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm. As they are wont to do. Do you think whatever happens here is going to have the greatest bearing on that?
I would think that if I was an old spirit, and I have met with a few, a cairn attracts things.
That it does.
And if it's a vengeful spirit, especially considering the history of the area, I realize you have no reason to trust me. But I wish to help Miss Rossellini.
You can help by never using that name again.
I won't.
Thank you.
But I heard that name from a being without a face. And I do think there is something trying to make sure we don't trust each other.
Understandable.
Is there anything else that you... even a guess?
Ignatius has a testing facility northwest of here. They've been using kindred blood to augment themselves. And I think they might be moving on to our blood next. That's why I believe Pentex is involved. There's no other way they would know we exist.
Have they attacked any of your kind yet?
Not yet. I have a large nightclub downtown that is fortified to the teeth. They know better than to show up there, but I have seen them driving by recently.
There are some humans you can trust, and there are some that...
Exactly.
I walk over to the door and open it.
Are you like right up against the door?
I'm imagining Flynt just falling right
Wait,
through
you
the
were
door.
by a window.
I was by the window, which is probably next to the door.
Can you give me a just a wits plus awareness roll?
Yeah. Which one do I do?
So, it'll be wits is one of the attributes, and awareness is one of your skills. It'll be directly below it on the right side of the sheet.
Okay. Please.
Let's see how much of that conversation you heard.
Okay. My wits is a 3. And you said the other one?
Awareness.
Awareness.
It's going to be a skill below wits.
That was 1.
Okay, so 4 dice.
Yes. Okay.
Storyteller, I think. Oh, she's rolling.
Oh. 5?
So anything that is an Ankh will count.
Okay, so 2 onks and a 3.
So that's 2 success.
Okay.
Okay. You hear...
Oh, sorry.
I feel like that was more of a D&D dice that you rolled.
That's fine.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are a success on a numbered die.
Oh,
Those
okay,
of you using
okay.
numbered dice.
That makes sense.
You hear probably about 50% of that conversation.
Okay.
Just bits and pieces coming in and out based on where they're like... Basically, whichever one of them was facing the window, you hear their part and not the other person's.
I would definitely not face the window.
So you heard everything Moonie said, but nothing Rumi said.
That's okay, because some of the stuff you said was prevalent. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I'll take that.
Okay. And then, so you walked over and opened the door?
My apologies. I just wanted to make sure that Moonie was comfortable with me joining you.
Anybody who keeps secrets, hard to trust.
A total lack of faith in the people around you will get someone killed.
Faith can also keep you alive.
Indeed.
You could also just not have friends.
That sounds awful.
We're gonna be besties.
Oh. Hey, Pops. You have like faith and stuff, right?
Of course, of course.
So, I just have a question. Have you ever seen like ghosts, spirits, stuff like that?
In my time, I've seen a few.
Okay, great. Sounds like we're going to be seeing more, probably.
Probably.
I'm like kind of excited. They're, you never know like what you'll find out. Like the dead are pretty interesting.
Not all of them started out as the dead.
That's true. Well, and the ancestors are kind of ghosts.
In a way, yes.
The most technical of senses.
So you're just excited to come across.
Well, yeah, I mean, they could wind up being helpful as long as they're not like the murderers or kidnappers. Whatever.
Let us not make assumptions of those we have not even met yet.
Exactly.
Vrika,
Yes.
I noticed your enthusiasm about potentially confronting the people around the cairn. I feel it's... I always harp on this, I know, I'm sorry. But everyone's a child of the Creator. Maybe we don't rush to violence right away.
I condone your behavior.
I already have my shoulder angels. Got it. I'll do my best, but if it comes down to it, I can't guarantee it.
Of course, and I wouldn't ask you to. You've been endowed with many gifts from the Creator. Let's just not rush to violence this time.
I'll do my best, but I kind of pull Father to the side and I look at the group a little second and goes, but are we sure we can trust them?
Of course not. But that's not on us. It's on them.
Can I see if I overheard that? Storyteller?
Did you step that far away, or did you care?
I was kind of turned over and kind of pulled to the side, like more of a low whisper. But if you can hear it,
I was gonna say, so you don't particularly care if they hear you,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
were being subtle.
yeah.
I'll say you heard it.
We don't know any of them. But
I know Michelagh a little bit.
I'm just going to let you know that if I find any of them in any way lacking or anything that is going to jeopardize you or I, do I have permission?
Well, you're your own man. You don't need my permission.
Good enough for me. I walk off.
Well then.
So if you find my pack, they'll all have rushed to violence, so don't worry about it. Especially Slaughter. She's tiny, but she's quite intense.
Western deed names. Fascinating things. Slaughter.
Her full deed name is Born Amongst the Slaughter. We found her as a group of humans were burning down one of our forests.
All too common.
Insufferable.
That's why we stick to the cities. They're less likely to burn their own city for the third time.
Do you tell to humans? Sorry.
They kind of like the things that they've built now.
Not
The
from
forest they
news.
still have little respect for.
Push a tree on a couple of them, they change their mind.
They blow up their own things all the time. I've seen it on the news.
True.
I'm beginning to wonder, do you actually hate humans or are you afraid of them?
Ask that question again, and we'll-
I love you so much. I honestly, I agree. And I think that that's why, like, look, I get it. The cities are nice and there's nice things there. I buy things there all the time. But the woods, I mean, maybe if we stuck around there more often, we could defend it better, you know, from their burny little ways.
There's a section of vampires that are a bit closer to us that live on the other side of the lake. They handle that side, but unfortunately this lake is too big for one group to manage.
Those are the gangrel.
Yes.
Have they been warned that we're coming? So they know,
They know to stay away from any big puppies they see.
gotcha. Good.
Is that gonna potentially pose a problem?
No. They're sticking to their compound at the moment, handling the southernmost tip.
What about coming to help?
You don't want their help.
we don't need their help.
First of all, I don't need anybody's help.
I mean,
Good try.
all help is help. Why wouldn't we want their help?
They're focused on keeping humans from getting anywhere near you.
So they're helping.
So they are helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
just not going to come fight. They're worthless up here.
Okay.
I mean, they're normally.
I'm at least glad that you're enlightened about kindred werewolf relations.
It's something you have to get used to around here. There's a little bit of everything for somebody.
Wait till you meet the mage.
Excuse me, the what?
We have a few mages in town, a few fae in town.
There's more than just us.
No,
by a
no,
large
you said
margin.
the. Like, implying that there's the.
You'll know.
Articles are usually a bad indication.
It's more
When
that
they're
she's
enemy.
notorious and a party girl, so
Oh.
We'll fit in just fine.
Okay.
you'd probably like her.
Great.
You,
I'm sure I'd love it too.
you have probably had more than one incident with her at the nightclub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fae tend to stick up around the guide stones, or what were the guide stones. So we don't have to worry about them interfering. And the mage, well, at this time of night, she's probably shit-faced on Peachtree Street, so she won't be a problem.
Which beach? Never mind.
Precisely my point. Pick one. She's probably there.
So, in regards to these spirits at the lake, no swimming. Great. No diving. Perfect. No backstrokes. Fantastic.
Unless you feel like living dangerously.
Yes, swimming's not my forte. But, better question. How do we get around them to figure out what's going on with your pack? If somebody got like a magic ball that they can just... Or...
Nope.
I mean, I could try. Oh, this is Kevin. And I pull out a Tamagotchi and start clicking away at the little buttons. Kevin just tends to, like, get it, you know? Like, Kevin just, like, gets things about, like, what's going on. I think that Kevin, right now, he's just, like, a little blob. Because I accidentally killed him. But he regenerates, you know, you bring him back. But I just think that Kevin has, like, a really strong, like, connection to the ancestors and stuff, and sometimes he can help.
I very meaningfully turn to Father and like,
Michelagh. What exactly is Kevin?
Kevin is a runestone. Runestone fetish. Yeah, it is a Tamagotchi that instead of each time it dies, like it doesn't randomly generate a new one. It's just the same guy living the same little life cycle over and over again.
you just hear a little squeak say,
Yeah.
end this hell.
And in terms of what spirit is bound to the Tamagotchi, is it a more Wyld or weaver?
It is a weaver.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Unorthodox, I know, but Michelagh gets results.
Thanks, Pops.
So we're gonna trust somebody who killed their pet to save our situation.
I like it. It's like a metaphor for resurrection.
Like you haven't killed anyone, Flynt.
First of all, that was not the conversation. I said I did. That's digital. That it's a. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's important and it's great. She's got it, and that's all that matters.
He eats chicken bones.
Another meaningful look.
Well,
The results outweigh the means. Sorry to
I
speak
feel
over
like
you.
I've done a great job pulling you all together anyway. Father, I feel like you'll be uniquely qualified for being able to suss things out. The wraiths that inhabit this lake, any that you can assist might help as well.
Of course. I'm called to assist all lost souls.
And best I know, because Slaughter uses Snapchat, Slaughter's last Snapchat location was Three Sisters Island.
And that's within the lake.
Yes, it's around the lake. The lake is... Well, lake is a generous term. It's a flooding of water.
From the vantage point where the cabin is, you can actually point out that island from here. It's a short boat ride across the water. It's more on the northern side of the lake than...
Yeah, so I'll point it out to the group and just... Over there is where her snap location was.
Thank you, Miss Mooney. Moonie's alright to call you, right?
Yes, of course.
Is there any other information, or shall we get going?
That's as best as I know. I really don't have much else to go on. This is the most north I've been.
At that point, you just see Vrika just turn around. He's like, all right, it's done. And then starts heading to the boat.
To the point.
As you're heading to the boat, you just hear a jingling behind you. As Moonie has the keys for the boat.
I asked if you had anything else.
You know you asked if she had any pertinent information.
I have the keys as pertinent information. And I walk up.
Y'all are just on one about specificity, ain't you? Great. Good group. Great.
Good luck, everyone.
Proceeds to follow.
Peace be with you.
Gracious Moon,
Yes.
name's blood, they do not determine who we are.
I know. More than anyone.
Good.
Thank you.
And Moonie, as you start leaving, you have several text messages from Denise.
Okay.
Basically, just being curious as to how things are going.
I am going to shoot back to her. Do you remember Flynt? And then I'm going to briefly describe the rest of the group. I'm going to be like, that priest I told you about is here, and apparently he's taken in a scruffy ward. There's another holy man. That fucker knew who I was. And then some little bubblegum kid. I'm actually quite partial to that one.
Oh.
And I'm going to ask her to pick me up the largest bottle of vodka she can grab from the Total Wine.
You get a photo of a handle of vodka sitting on a car seat already.
Fantastic.
I appreciate it's buckled in. Safety first,
Yep,
guys.
safety first, safety first.
And I'm going to tell her
It's in a car seat.
to have Honor sitting around the location and have him keeping an eye on it but not interfering,
Okay.
so that Honor can report back to me if anything goes horrifically wrong. And I'm going to tell Denise I'm going to do my best to not get involved. We can't lose many more of us. But if I have to, I love you.
And you get a typing for a while, and then it goes away,
Oh, Denise.
and then it comes back with, "Okay,
Yeah,
I trust you. I love you too."
I know.
And then I will head back to the Gangrel compound to get shit-faced.
Okay.
When in doubt, pinkies out.
And you see, for the rest of you, you see Moonie leave.
Rumi, what was that location? The one, the place that she said that the Snapchat was, that she was at?
The island.
Points to the island.
The island. Yeah. What's the island called? Do you
Three
remember?
sisters, yeah.
Three sister. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna pull up Snapchat, and I would like to search that location. The last 24 hours of people posting Snapchats in that, and I'm gonna lie down somewhere and just scroll through the last 24 hours of pictures people posted at that location.
Okay.
See if anything looks out of sorts.
Okay. Just laying down in the grass or inside.
Oh no, in the grass would be great.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and just give me a wits and technology roll.
Okay.
You just see Vrika in the boat, just waiting for people to come. Like,
It's a large enough motorboat for all of you, but it will be a little cramped. It's more of a rowboat outfitted with an outboard motor.
I got 3 regular successes and a crit success.
Okay. So you immediately notice Three Sisters Island, not super popular, because you do have to take a boat out to get there, and a lot of people tend to hang out on the shorelines of Lake Lanier because there's a lot of campgrounds and Margaritaville and other parks and stuff. There are a few from people who boated out and were hiking. You just see a couple of college kids partying. A few photos like that. Nothing seems off in any of them. Let me see. Give me 6. No, you got a crit on that. You notice some in the background of a couple of the photos, some claw marks on a couple of the trees that you can't make out the details well enough to see what they might be, but they appear to be glyphs
Oh, okay.
that may have been carved in. They're definitely a pattern to them.
Okay.
that what if you see in person, they might be messages.
Question, I don't know if we established this already. What time of day?
Evening.
Even.
Yeah, the sun was setting
Got it.
when you were having your conversation, and so it's still dusk. There's still some light before it's full night, but
Got it.
So I'll screenshot some of those images, and I'm gonna show them to Rumi. So, not like random attack claws,
Glyphs.
intentional, right?
It's hard to decipher what they mean. Could you
I don't know glyphs very well.
zoom or sharpen?
It's gonna get all blurry. They took these at night, and like they were focusing on their makeup, which looks great, but the tree's in the background, so you can't really make it out.
Is there anything I can do to like see if I can translate some of these glyphs? Or get a
give
basic
me
gist?
intelligence and occult.
Okay. I do have a specialty for academics in Garou history. If that's
This isn't so much history.
understood. I'm going to willpower that.
Okay.
Hold on. Please hold. Okay, that's better. That's 5 successes.
Oh, more than okay. So you're looking at it's hard. The only reason it's difficult to translate is the blurriness. Once you zoom in and you kind of figure it out, you like trace what you think it might be in the dirt, and you're like, oh, okay. It seems to be just marking areas inspected, almost like this area is clear, nothing unusual. And then in one of them, you see one that appears to say rough translation because it's single symbol translating to full sentence. Unusual spirit activity.
That one. Enhance, zoom, what?
It's just a
Okay.
pinch.
Yeah. Technology's not my forte. I have a flip phone. That one.
Yeah.
Activity.
Oh.
Spirit activity.
Okay, so these are our missing wolves.
Seems likely unless
They
there's
were
another
doing their
wolf
job.
roaming around. Yes, so all the other
Okay.
ones, those see how the curve is like that? They're all
Mm-hmm.
the same. Those, though used by different hands, are basically clearing. Fine. This one is not. They
Oh.
found something unusual. Is that the most recent picture out of these?
It's the most recent, and Michaela, you're able to see pins on where those photos were taken on the island because it's a larger island and it's on the northern part of that island.
Okay, so we've got like a little lead. North side of the island, at least, is like the last place we know that they saw spirit activity.
But this was also the last thing they did.
Right. Which is why we should go there. You don't think we should go there?
Are you looking at me or that one?
Well, both of you, a little. Yeah.
By the way, do you prefer father, Odhrán, pops?
Whatever you prefer. What makes you most comfortable?
I could think of a few things.
Watch it.
What? I didn't say
It's
anything.
fine.
Just saying.
Yours?
Oren is fine. I feel like we're friends, right?
Yes. Rumi.
Rumi.
This one yours?
Absolutely. It's Vrika.
Shining face.
That's your name?
No, I said your face is shining.
What?
Is that a compliment?
He thinks that he has something on his face. What? Is it gone?
Rumi, we have to work on your compliments.
I told you your hair looked nice.
You told me it looked shiny.
It's got...
I thought I was having an oil situation.
I think perhaps maybe approaching the northern part of the island from the southern part of the island might be a way to...
And trace their path?
That's what I would do.
I would agree, yes.
Could you tell from what you looked at what direction they may have been heading when they left those in the first place?
I would have to see the tree in question. They carved them onto trees. If I could find the tree and find what face it is on, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we all should introduce ourselves in a way. Yes? No?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it'd be good to get to know each other. It's a community building exercise. My fun moves.
We can do it on the boat.
On the boat it is.
Finally.
Okay.
And Vrika goes in and starts the boat up.
So you hear, it's a pull.
Oh, okay.
It takes you 2 or 3. You hear the motor kind of churn to life.
And as we sit down, I think at this moment, Vrika kind of looks around and kind of just observes everyone. And
Okay.
what would he then, in terms of physically, see?
That's great.
Yeah. Other than how you look now, is there anything distinguishing about any of you that the others would notice?
I am physically impressive. I mean, yeah, but actually, though.
Large,
Yes,
muscly.
very, very large. So my size is a huge thing. I am very obviously a predator, though.
Nice. For Vrika, you see just like similar to like the long hair, but a little longer, but it's more shaggy, and it's kind of something that clearly looks like he doesn't particularly care, like groom or anything. Kind of just a wild mane, and a beard that's growing from like without being trimmed, without being lined up. It's just a beard that's growing like this. He's also quite big, but like
Stocky.
Yeah, more stocky. Probably more around like 5'5", 5'6",
Okay.
in height. Almost like not quite barely, but just like someone who, like a construction worker look. Someone who, if push come to shove, would probably be able to lift twice his weight. Yeah, that's him. And you could see him wearing like leather jacket, kind of almost like a rockerish attire. Not as many pins as I have, but yeah, that's him.
Michelagh looks very much like this. Lots of rings, nails done. The top is a form-fitting dress, and she's got big pink pumps on that when she walks into the boat and onto the grass, she takes off and just like holds. Everything else very similar, except hair is Mandy Moore. I'm missing you like candy. The pigtail buns that have like the pin straight little flyaways like sticking out. That
And very shiny.
and very shiny.
Amazing.
When you look at Father Odhrán, he's tall and probably rather impressively built. It's hard to say. He's very intentional in his appearance. Everything is manicured and very groomed. He's wearing a long, like a frock coat. It's almost floor length. You can see he's wearing slacks and dress shoes under that. He carries a rosary around one arm.
Rumi looks more tired than I think most people would expect. His shoulders are slightly slumped, but he's built broadly and toughly, like he's been through a lot. His eyes are kind, but they seem to see through people, not see people. And he tends to peer up at people through his heavy, heavy brow. There's a weight about him. Too much experience, maybe. Or just no coffee. Not to say.
That's a little from column A,
Same
a little
difference.
from column B.
Same difference.
I don't know if it matters, but Flynt is covered in scars. Just throwing that out there.
I would think the father would notice that, and you just see his face soften just very slightly upon seeing that.
And you see on the opposite end, Vrika appreciates it, but also becomes more reserved, because to him, someone who got through that many fights and still survived is someone dangerous.
And I should have mentioned about Moonie, anyone who was close enough to her, the Glasswalker symbol on her face is a little haphazardly done, but clearly a tattoo, likely not at her choice.
Okay. So you all climb into this boat.
Oh, I'm hesitating.
Yeah,
Nope.
beyond the being unsure about going, there's also barely room for both you and Oren in the boat.
Can I assist you? I know it's unsteady. I can steady the boat. Or
No. Thank you, though. I don't do water. No.
I hear you.
Not a Labrador.
No.
You can see that the island that was indicated is probably not even a 20-minute boat ride out, and it's big. You'll be on solid ground soon.
Okay.
I love to swim.
I would actually swim. I mean, she made it very clear
No, not
we
here.
can't, but
Well, you could. I just don't think good things would come from it.
Just get in the goddamn boat.
Vrika, I'm already in the boat.
No, I was talking.
Begrudgingly enters the boat.
I steady it anyway. Just very subtly, just to try and
Okay.
avoid upsetting it.
Thanks.
And who is steering the boat?
No one.
I'll steer the boat.
And how much experience do you have with boats?
I'd say, you know what, a fair... Rui's driven at least every kind of vehicle at least once.
Okay.
Except a helicopter.
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity and call it. Do you have any dots in drive?
I do have a dog and drive.
Give me a dexterity and drive. There are too many people in this boat for the size of the boat,
Great.
and 3 of them are
Large.
large.
It's not this channel if we don't ask for a Dex and Drive roll.
Correct.
Before we do that, can I use a gift?
You can.
I have the gift Pathfinder, which helps me navigate things to find the fastest direction.
Excellent. So do me a favor, and to activate your gift, roll your Gnosis rating.
All right. That's 6 dice. 3 successes.
All right, you successfully activate your gift, no problem. And does that gift require a roll?
A wits and survival roll.
Go ahead and roll that now.
Love to. Three successes.
Okay. You successfully activate it. You are able to plot out. It's a fairly straight shot over to that island, but you see some rocks that are sitting low. The boat is sitting very low in the water, so you're able to navigate around some rocks that might scrape the bottom of it, some branches and logs that are in the water. And just go ahead and give me that Dex and Drive. And I'm going to give you extra success. So just go ahead and tell me how many you get. None?
None.
Well, you got 2, so you're fine. You successfully navigate through the water. It's a little bit of a rocky boat ride. You can tell it's been a while since Rumi piloted any watercraft. But
the whole time, just like doing a great job.
you get there
Just
very
keep
quickly.
going.
This is making it worse.
You
I
get
believe
there
in you,
very
though.
quickly with minimal wet clothing.
Try not to make that apparent that bothers me quite a bit.
And as you
You see Vrika just like shake his head to get any water that's off of him.
Perfect. As you approach the southern point of the island, you do immediately notice, I'm not even going to have any of you roll claw marks in the rocks on that side. Almost as if someone was pulling themselves up out of the water.
Did they swim or did they capsize?
They were
Wait,
either way in the
claw
water.
marks like
Just like some scratches down it.
wolf claw marks that we would
Are they
recognize?
discernible?
Yeah, they appear as if one of you may have made them.
And we were supposed to stay out of the water.
And that doesn't look like human ghosts climbing out of the lake to haunt people.
Flint's looking around the rocks, trying to find anything else besides just the markings. Will not go anywhere near the water, but is definitely right at the edge to look
Okay.
to see if there's anything like.
Moonie,
Yes.
of the pack that you had sent out to take a look around, which one is the most likely to have shrugged off just swimming the short distance from the shore to the island?
Streetwise.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Streetwise, our dingus, he would have tried it.
So yeah, you don't see anything else other than that immediately.
Okay.
But
Tracks leading away from the area, Storyteller.
go ahead and roll wits and survival for me.
All right.
While this is happening, do we see any signs of basically any signs of humans around?
Oh yeah, there's trash first of all,
Or like, they're still here now, kind of.
The island is too large for you to immediately notice if there was anyone on it at all, but in the immediate area, no. But you do see discarded beer cans, a Ziploc bag, some candy wrappers. And how many success did you get?
That would be a 0.
Okay. You don't notice any tracks immediately, but you are still basically just like on the rocky.
Just picking up trash and
Sure.
trying to put it in a receptacle somewhere.
You don't see any trash cans. This is very much a pack out what you bring in situation. You could you could put it in the boat.
Boat. Got it.
Oh great, we're gonna sit with trash on the way back.
I just think it's nice to leave a place in better shape than when you arrived.
I mean, you were already in the boat, so...
Not careful. Vrika's a beautiful soul. Or were you speaking to me? Because maybe.
You see Vrika turn to you and goes, I'm not
You're not trash. You're not trash.
And I think that is a perfect place to take our break.
Awesome.
So
Oh, no!
when we come back, we will see exactly what you find on the island.
Awesome.
Like a strange flow, tide of season. Oh, you are bound to die alone. You will swing free on the breeze then. Oh, you are bound to die alone. At the end of the day, you left the lights out. Oh, you are bound to die alone. At the end of it all, there is no doubt. Oh, that you are bound to die alone. We are bound to die alone. Don't die and die on me now. We'll take a grave close to your home. Don't you fix your eyes on me now. We never said you'd come back home. They're coming closer just to kill us. Don't cry on me now. No, they ain't never gonna help us. Lost to his grave, we'll build our home. They're coming closer just to kill us. Don't you fix your eyes on me now. You know they're never gonna help us. We never said you'd come back home. End of the way when the thieves tell. Oh, you are bound to die alone. At the end of it all, when the fields burn. Oh, you are bound to die alone. We are bound.
Welcome back. Where we left our Garou, they had just traveled over to Three Sisters Island investigating a missing pack of Glasswalkers on behalf of Moonie. So you've taken a look around, you notice the claw marks on the rocks, the trash left by people. This time of night, you can hear music coming across the water from some of the various campgrounds or Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, which is very prominent. And now that you've settled on the island, you're all just kind of taking it in. You think you might hear some people on the island off in the distance, some music playing that seems quieter but closer. It could be coming from the shore, the north shore, as opposed to the south where a lot of the other activity is, but you're not 100% sure. But what would you like to do first now that you're over here?
You said that there might be people on the island.
You don't hear talking, but you can hear music. It kind of sounds like you're hearing kind of a hard beat, like hard style EDM, but also metal, guitar work.
I think some kids are having a party.
Rumi, I'm a bit concerned, especially if our kind are going missing.
It depends. As long as they don't go to the northern shore, it should be fine.
It's not our job to protect them. They can do it themselves.
It's our job to protect everything.
Strongly agree.
The creator touches.
And it wouldn't be too hard. All we do have to do is just crash their party and tell them to go home.
Yeah.
Or you just let them do their thing, and we do our job.
Well,
We take the subtle way, we take the confrontational way, but either way, we'll do something to help.
Storyteller, knowing the history of this place, would I have any good reason to believe that they're in any particular danger?
It depends on what they're doing. There have been disappearances, pretty natural disappearances of people at the lake, people who go swimming and get pulled under. That is most likely wraith activity more than anything else. Malevolent spirits. Because of what's going on directly on this island, I guess you could have cause to be concerned. But I'd leave that up to you.
Address the group. I'm not here to dictate what we do, just to help. But I am concerned about the well-being of those probably kids listening to their hip-hop and their rap and their rock and roll.
Those are three very different music genres.
They're hip and roll.
None of which are actually playing, from what you can hear.
Fine. And then you see Vrika start walking over to where the music is coming from.
Okay, give me a wits and awareness to pinpoint where the music is coming from, and go ahead, Flynt.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna let him do his stuff. Flynt is going to reach out to grab his arm to stop him.
Oh.
Wits 2 plus 2, so 4 dice. Doesn't matter which color?
Not for now.
Okay.
The only time the color of your dice will matter is when you are in Krino's form.
Ooh. Oh, it's got stars.
I got one onk with the star, just one onk, and then a one onk with claws.
Stars. Because of what you're doing right now, that is a crit. So that is 5 success.
Whee!
You can tell that about halfway along the northern coast of the island, so like not the northern point, what you were talking about, but just along the northern side of it, halfway towards that northern point, there's probably at least one person or a group of people, you can't tell because they're not talking, listening to music.
Okay.
And it is on the island you're on.
So I start heading in that direction.
And Flynt grabs your arm.
Yeah. I don't know about you. Why are you so trusting? Nobody stopped to go, hey, here's this jamming tunes.
Sure.
But nobody's talking? Does that not occur to anybody that that's not normal? Or is it just me?
I just don't know from what kids do. But I mean, if you think that's abnormal, I'm all ears.
If you want to take a look ahead, we'll back you up.
Maybe.
Storyteller.
Yes.
I'd like to try something then.
Okay.
You see Vrika look around, and then he does like a low whistle, like, and hoping to attract. What I'm trying to use is beast speech, and attract a nearby beast of any sort, so I can converse.
So beast speech is one of your gifts.
Yes.
So go ahead and take your gnosis rating, which is at the bottom of your sheet, and roll. It is
Nani?
Nope. Up. It's gonna be 5.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll 5 dice.
That is 2 Ankh and 1 with the star.
Okay. So 3 success. You successfully activate your gift, and then I believe beast speech has a specific role for it. If you want to check that.
We will find.
Right there.
Speak with and understand an animal. Dice pool charisma plus animal ken.
Yep. So go ahead and roll charisma plus animal ken, and we'll see how successful you are.
Of course. 1. 1. That's 1 success.
Okay. So you let out a low whistle, and a minute later, a large owl flies over,
Oh, baby.
and
I just put out my arm.
it lands on your forearm.
And I just go.
You between the like whistling and fluttering and clacking, you have a brief conversation. What are you trying to ask?
Yeah, I just go. Hey, you don't know me. I don't know you. Just a quick favor. Do you see what do you see out there where the sound's coming from?
And the owl just replies, just a person.
A person?
Mm-hmm. He fed me.
Okay. What did he look like?
Kind of like you. Lighter.
Did you sense any form of hostility or...
It shakes its head and it does that owl thing where its head goes way too far to each side, but it's clearly a no.
Okay. One more question. There were 4 like us that came to this island. They're not natives. Did you happen to find them or see them or hear of them?
No. I wasn't over here yesterday.
Storyteller, because I also have animal ken and animal speak. Can I understand this conversation?
If you give me the beast speech, the gnosis and the beast speech, I can't pronounce that word. Roll.
Okay.
You can.
I'm on a 4. So that would just be the 4 of these, right?
Yep, roll 4 dice.
Okay. Oh, God. Oh, hey, I did the Ankies. Yep.
Okay, then you're good on the gnosis roll.
Cool.
You don't lose any, and then it's going to be charisma and animal ken to well, because you're just listening.
Yeah.
You're not actually communicating. We'll
Yeah.
say you can understand.
Okay.
So yeah, you understand the entire conversation.
Perfect.
Fair enough. Are you free right now? Asking because if you could watch over and maybe provide eyes ahead.
Okay.
I'm not asking him on a date. Just saying.
I thought we were getting philosophical here for a second. Do you want me to scout around?
Yes.
Hey, Beta, if you're going to tell it to scout around...
I don't think you would understand.
No, I know, but I can assume.
Okay.
If you're going to tell it to scout around, tell it to be careful.
It's an owl.
Still, people have guns.
He deserves a snack.
And you see him reach into his pocket and pull out like he has like little bird seeds and baggies of different types of snacks, and he pulls one out and takes out some of the bird seeds, and he goes, "Thank you."
And it snatches a sunflower seed out of the pile.
Actually, I don't think they eat birds, so it'd probably just be like
I mean, yeah. Do you have jerky?
I have rats, dead rats.
Then you pull out a dead. It grabs it and literally just does like, and the rat is gone.
How often does he clean
Hey,
the vest?
Vrika.
You know,
Nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Michelagh.
I know.
Have you had dead rats in your pocket? Do you just have them all the time?
It comes in handy.
I mean, it clearly did. Do you change out the dead rats? Like, or do they, like, how often do you replace the dead rats? I'm just asking.
If they're dead, they're dead. Is there any other more dead?
And you're suddenly realizing where the unique scent that Vrika has been coming from. most
Oh,
of the
okay.
time.
I also have, and he pulls out like insects, pulls out bird seeds, pulls out pellets as well. Like almost seems like dog pellets, and then jerky as well for.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, seriously, Odhrán, how often does he wash that vest?
I've encouraged him to wash it in the past, but
Encouraged.
single-minded is the term we use.
Anger. So much.
And I turn and I ignore everybody, and I turn back to the owl as if I put everything back in his. Well, if you can go ahead.
And it doesn't even respond. It just launches off your arm and takes off into the air, and you see it flying, just kind of lazily through the sky across across the island.
And I turn to everybody and goes, there's only one. Just one.
Alone on the island.
In
But-
whatever party that's happening over there.
It's not a party then, it's a... Unless it's a pity party.
Sounds like a ritual to me. Which I really don't trust if there's no talking.
You know what? Fine. I'll go. Excuse me, Emma.
I'm coming with you.
Wait, can I just have 2 seconds to just consult some internal storyteller? I would like to have that conversation with my ancestor.
Okay.
And also draw a card on it, assuming that I can't actually talk to them.
Yeah. In order to actually talk to them, you would want to probably step sideways
Okay.
into the Umbra. But if you want to draw a card, it might be faster
Yeah.
at this point.
Which-
Go ahead and do that.
I think speed is important here.
So go ahead and draw the card, but then give me a wits and a cult roll.
Perfect. So Flynt proceeds to take out a deck of cards with little paw prints on the back, and doesn't say anything, doesn't look at anybody, just proceeds to pull one. To which she looks at the card, she studies it for a second, looks back, and says, yeah, okay, you go ahead and do that.
Stay here, Michelagh. I think one is better than most, and keep an ear out.
Oh, absolutely not.
Did
I'm
you
coming
want
with
me
you.
No, not for now.
I don't wish to intrude, but I would like to accompany you as well. No one breaks up a party like a priest.
Or a ritual. If it's a ritual, then we could definitely use you too.
As this conversation is happening, Vrika's already walking.
Yeah, Rumi at some point just silently joins. Yeah.
Proud of your son. Good job with the
Peace out.
God, this is gross.
Your father or your guide, mentor?
Is there a difference?
I mean, yeah, actually.
Well, you to find out then. And then he walks on.
Grumpy.
Single-minded.
So Vrika,
That was his
Rumi
way of saying yes.
are heading towards where the sound is coming from. Oren, you are following them?
Yes, but I'm trying not to offend anyone in doing so. I know people wanted to go by themselves, so I'm being
Okay.
polite about it.
Flint follows from a very pace back.
Okay, so a good distance away from them.
yeah.
Okay, and
Michelagh is in a intentional two-step with with Rumi. She has to like do like a double step for each of their one steps to keep.
Okay. And are you trying to be quiet and stealthy about this, or are you just walking
Absolutely
right over?
not.
Awesome. Perfect.
I will try to be, but I know that won't count for much if no one else is.
Literally always.
So,
Oh,
I will be.
But you don't have to be.
Nah.
I was intending to walk up as another human being, but
Yeah.
okay.
okay. So you are just walking up. You are you
I'm just being-
intentionally being loud?
no, just
Okay,
walking
'cause
this.
as a red talon,
Yeah.
you are naturally stealthier.
Oh, okay.
Walking through the woods, so whereas most people who aren't thinking about it are going to be stepping on twigs and making
Okay,
a decent
okay.
amount of noise, you are like just subconsciously stepping.
I'm just
around
being
them.
naturally who I am.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to intentionally make noise or make myself aware. I'm
But-
just single-minded, as they said, to get to this and get them off.
So as you three, Michelagh, Vrika, and Rumi walk up with Odhrán a few steps behind, and you lingering back, staying in the trees more, you hear the music click off. And as you kind of break through part of the tree line, because you kind of just cut straight over, back to the shore, you see a gentleman dressed similarly to you. Black jacket with patches on it, some rings on his fingers, blue hair, sitting in a folding chair, just kind of like staring out over the water. Turn and look at you. He was playing music on his phone.
Okay. But is there like a stereo or speakers of any sort?
He was playing. No, he had his phone.
Oh, okay,
He was
just
playing
the
music
phone.
through his smartphone.
Oh, that's a smart. I mean, it's a loud smartphone. Okay.
Music carries over water.
Okay. Is there like anything at like a campfire?
No.
Nothing else. It's just him on.
You see a canoe,
Okay.
kind of pulled up partially onto the shore.
Okay. As it goes, you just see Vrika come out and he goes, "Hey. Get the fuck out."
Why?
Vrika, what exactly are you
Island's
Last I knew, the island was a free campground area. And
Yeah.
you don't look like a park ranger.
For your own good, if you are willing to stay here, then. And he kind of looks, and he's having trouble trying to articulate himself on why he shouldn't be here. He's like, "You should just not fucking be here when I tell you fucking go." And he turns to Orm. He goes,
As you guys are struggling with this conversation, I would like to point out I have sent true form. I don't trust anybody, so I would like to, from the distance, see if I can figure out, because I have suspicion they are not human.
Okay.
So I would like to
As
use
would I,
that.
actually.
So go ahead and give me the Gnosis roll to activate your gift.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Storyteller, is it alright
please
if I do the same?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. And then, can you read what that gift does?
Identify supernatural creatures. So specifically,
That's
sorry, 2 seconds. So specifically, it identifies what kind of supernatural creature something is. The dice pulls on that are intelligence and occult.
Okay.
If it's a successful roll, you can tell what kind of soup creature something is just by interacting with it. On a crit, I can ask you one question of my choice about the creature.
Okay. So go ahead and give me that roll.
crit success and 3 additional successes.
Fantastic. Was that for the Gnosis
The
roll?
Gnosis roll, yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Go. So both of you give me that intelligence and occult roll.
Okay.
Let's see.
3. Yes.
2 crits and 2 successes, 1 fail.
Jeez. And was that a critical or just a regular success for you?
"Is
That's
this a
that I
one
rolled it.
What is the skull?
The skull is a 1.
Is a 1, so
Okay.
one of your successes cancels out, but you keep the rest.
Not in 5th edition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I'll just re-roll
Never mind.
to be safe because I don't remember what it was.
Okay, that's fine.
Whoa.
Okay, there. All right, so 2 onks and then the 9.
Okay, you're the 3 success.
Cool.
Okay, so you had a critical, so you can ask me a question about him. But in general, you both get a weak sense of vampire, but not vampire. So, Flynt, you would be familiar that vampires can create ghouls who
Yes.
are mortal servants. That's the vibe you're getting from this person. Orin, I don't know if you would be familiar with ghouls,
Okay.
but not quite vampire, but vampire-ish adjacent.
All right.
And you can ask a specific question.
Specific question. All right. How healthy does he look?
Very.
Like very hale, very
Yeah.
healthy.
Bit of a tan.
All right.
Just from your guess, a bit hungover.
All right.
But, yeah.
So I would like to meet Orin's gaze on that because I noticed that he's looking a little too hard at this guy.
Yep.
So I kind of,
You see the same level of intense look.
yes, so I creep up next to him and lean in. So, that's not normal.
Right. Something's definitely up. Undead or
He smells like a vampire.
stinks.
Probably a ghoul.
A ghoul. I think. Right.
Just
Sure.
make him know we know who he is.
Yeah. Do you want me to do the talking, or do you want to?
Do you want me to talk to him, really? You think that's a good idea?
You're right. Good point. Good. I mean.
And you see, the rest of you see him kind of peer over your shoulder at those two who are behind you talking. Just like,
Hey.
Storyteller, I'd like to join Vrika, and then just calmly place my hand on his shoulder. Pleasure to meet you, Father Orin McTeer, at your service, of course. I can't help but notice you've got a strange way about you.
oh, okay. I'm gonna guess Garou werewolves. Because you're not kindred.
No, we're fairies.
We don't get to say what we are if you don't get to say what you are.
I am a mutt.
A mutt.
It's a long story.
You're a beautiful creation, is what you are.
Oh my god, let him finish.
I don't know about that one. It's complicated.
We'll simplify.
So are marriages. Hey.
That's valid. I am a ghoul currently.
Currently.
What were you before?
I was a vampire. It's complicated, like I said.
You were undone.
Somehow.
That's not possible.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Everything is possible.
I promise it's a really long story. You don't want. I was here to be alone.
May I ask your name?
Jackson.
Rumi. Jackson, this place is dangerous.
I'm well aware.
So
but
why are
more
you
so.
here?
Because the gangrel don't like me hanging around with them anymore, and I like the lake. It's quiet.
Some of our kind have gone missing nearby.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, so it might be a good idea to get back on your canoe, and especially considering...
Row my way on the fuck out of here?
Coming back to my original point, fuck off.
Vrika! Bus!
I like you.
My point is that, have you seen any... 4 Glasswalkers?
Mooney's.
Yes.
Right. Are you
Try.
familiar with Moonie?
You know them.
I know Mooney, yeah.
Everyone knows Mooney. I
Wait, so
assume.
you, like, just know these wolves? And you're an ex-vampire.
I know some of them, yeah.
Well, have you seen them?
Tonight?
Yes.
No.
Anytime recently?
No.
Are you full of malarkey?
No. I think.
What
I'm
do you
sorry,
mean?
what?
Are you being straight with us?
Are you
Yes.
bullshitting?
No. I have no reason to. You could tear me apart in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
You are
right.
no longer dead,
Actually, it probably wouldn't take 5 seconds.
and you have your life back.
Somehow.
So go save it. Get on the boat. Get away.
Okay. Cool.
I've got a question.
Oh no.
Okay.
Sweetie, honey, Jackson.
Yes, darling.
Yeah. Listen, so what have you seen here in this vicinity? If you haven't seen any of us, you're here. You've
Yes.
seen things. You have eyes, yes? They work?
Yep.
What have you seen?
Water.
Great.
That's literally
Wonderful.
it. I have been alone for the last 2 hours.
Flynt, have you ever met a emo teenager before?
Sure.
A what?
Wow. I haven't been called it. Okay. No, carry on.
Jackson here's off to just fuck off in the woods, stare at the lake, and think about their life. They would not have seen it.
First of all, I don't like to be associated with whatever that word just is, because I do that. That's not the point here. My point,
God, this is all really familiar.
I just really don't care if you're safe or not. They do. So therefore, I have to care because I'm stuck with them. So,
I'm sorry.
So, your options are you can hang out with us and hope you don't get obliterated, or you can fuck off since you haven't seen anything and you're of no use to me.
Since you're doing werewolf stuff, the chances of me being obliterated are very high. So I will absolutely fuck off. I do have a question first, though. Can I get your number?
Father?
But before any, did somebody tell you to come out here, Jackson?
No.
All right. You shooting straight with me there, son?
Can I
Yes.
All right.
pause for
No.
a second?
I have zero reason to lie.
Can I pause for a second?
Yes.
While this is going on,
Yes.
I'd like to activate a card.
Go for it.
Hold on. Okay.
To be fair, you have plenty of reason to lie about it. I mean,
That's a complete ass failure.
Oh, for the Gnosis roll?
Yep.
You lose 1 Gnosis.
Great.
It is temporary. You can regain it. But
No, I lose it forever.
God.
What's an insight? 3 successes.
Okay.
How honest? So, Truth of God basically allows me to determine fact from fiction very accurately.
Yes. He is being 100% honest with you, including the whole, like, it's a long story, you don't want to get into it. He's being dead honest.
He is being
To a fault.
truthful.
all right.
All right.
Quite
And then I
pointed
go up, and is he still sitting in the chair?
No, he did stand at this point.
Okay. I pick up the chair. I grab him like on the shoulders. Like,
Gently.
yeah, and you see him initially like press, and then like there's like a little bit of like the claw, and then it lets go. Like it's a subtle shift.
He just
Relax.
looks at your hand for a second, smirks, and looks back at you. Okay.
Time to go, bud.
Rumi, my concern is that he's like hella honest.
Oh,
There's less
I
to trust about a man who's too honest.
like legit. I near-death experience recently. I just don't care.
All right. Well,
Buddy, you need to go like have a pizza, enjoy your time.
What I need is therapy, but I don't exist in like mortal standards. I don't have an identity, so it's really hard to get health insurance.
I didn't come to this island to be depressed, okay?
we could
I can
actually
do that
help
on my
you out
own.
with that. You should stop
Valid.
by the church. We do like a soup kitchen kind of a thing every Saturday, and
I
I know some people who can benefit from that. I will definitely send them over. Thank you. But per our nice jacket, by the way.
Yours too.
Aggressive friend's suggestion. I am going to fuck off now.
of course,
I'll walk you to the boat.
I can touch it.
I lift him up,
Yo.
put him in the boat, and then as I turn, like you see Vrika turn, and then pause, turn back, reach into his jacket pocket, and then pull a card out. He goes, "This helped me," and gives the number to Father's Church as well as a therapist.
we can help you get on your feet.
I walk beside the boat until my I have long, tall boots until they're ankle deep in water, and I whisper.
He glances down. He's like, "Oh, I'd be careful. I got half my face ripped off."
Rumi.
It's like,
This is a very pointed question, and I apologize if it's offensive. Are you one of those kind that are familiar with, I think you call it necromancy?
I know what it is. No, I was a gangrel.
But not active. Too bad. Could have used your help.
Yeah,
Be
sorry.
safe.
Yeah, and he grabs the oar and just...
Creator guide you. Oh, all right.
you hear the very quiet paddling as he...
Storyteller, after he paddles away, and after Rumi steps back, does Rumi step back onto land after he paddles away? I kind of want to get to the edge of the water and not go in any way, but I kind of want to see if I hear or feel or see any changes or movement, sounds, activity from him stepping in briefly. I would like to kind of get in touch with that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any gifts that will assist with that?
I was kind of thinking, actually, yes, I would like to use fairy light and illuminate under the water to see if I can see anything happening.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the Gnosis roll for that.
Okay.
I'm just loving Jackson's reaction.
So,
I'm not.
so while she's doing that, so we would take notice that she's kind of fumbling around near the water. I would, at that point, like to tell her, one, very interesting, great, what you're doing, whatever it is.
Thanks.
So, I can have this conversation with a pal of mine, if, depending on what you see, if you're thinking, I just gotta step over to the,
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're, who's your pal?
a pal.
Oh, okay.
Like Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin's great.
Yeah.
Kevin, not really talkative, but great.
Mine's talkative.
Yours is talkative?
So.
Well, all right. Let me see what I see, and hopefully it's not terrible, but maybe it's something. Okay, so 3 successes on the Gnosis roll. And then it's a Wits Occult for this, which is 3...
And are you doing this while Rumi is still in the water?
I just stepped back.
I'm basically waiting till just after he steps out.
Okay.
And then I'm going to look. So that is 3 successes.
So you all see pinpricks of light, almost like fireflies, forming and swirling around Michelagh, and then going through under the water, with its own very watery movement. And as it goes beneath the water, you see a twisted, rotting, almost skeletal face with clawed hands grasping at Rumi just as he left the water. And then it just fades back more into the depths, and as the lights swirl towards where it went, you see it illuminating tree branches and rocks, and it starts to fade off as it goes deeper and vanishes. You think you see a large boat or maybe a submarine underneath the water, and then they fade off.
Oh. Okay, look, the skeleton I expected.
Yeah, it's a dead guy.
Rumi, no more stepping in the lake. Okay?
Totally be better.
Almost gotcha. And then I would have had to get wet. This is brand new. Skeleton I expected because of the whole ghost thing. Submarine. Yeah, there's a submarine down there. Or something like a submarine. I'm not really a submarine expert or
Was
anything.
it wrecked, or was it doing what submarines do?
I only saw it very briefly, so look, it's a submarine deep at the bottom of this lake. I caught a glimpse at it. It's far out there and down, but that seems unusual for any kind of submerging kind of ship to go down that deep into a lake. Who takes a submarine to a lake?
It's also a man-made lake.
Yeah.
Most people would know what's underneath it.
Oh. Hey. So remember that whole conversation thing about the ritzy humans that really like pills? What do they call them? Pharmaceutical people.
Pharmaceutical types, right?
Yeah, whatever, assholes. So like I said, I don't, if it's a man-made, it's a man-made lake.
It's a man-made lake.
So it didn't maybe occur to anybody that, man-made lake, submarine, dead people, pharmaceuticals, that there could be, a thing under the lake, because why else would you need to go that deep? No? Nobody?
I mean,
that's the reason we're staying out of it.
It's just new information.
These pharmaceutical people were, they were doing experiments, but what kind of experiment would involve the bottom of a lake? Especially a lake just littered with bad history.
You're focusing on the lake. It's not about the lake.
Maybe it's the bad history that they're after.
Or a treasure.
If it was like man-made and there are things like submarines down there and skeletons and stuff, maybe there are also minerals. Maybe there are even
there are villages down there. There were people down.
What?
Do you not understand? It was stolen. That land belonged to a community, and not enough of them were warned when the water came rushing in because they simply wanted a lake. That's what's underneath there. Families. Thieves upon thieves.
Unless this is something to do with what we're supposed to be doing here, we should probably start moving.
You're right.
We got rid of the guy. Now we need to find our people, and fortunately my owl friend didn't see anybody. At least he wasn't here to see anybody when they should have arrived, so...
Are there fish?
There are fish
Is it
in the lake.
stocked?
It is a stocked lake, yeah.
Hey, so listen. I could do it myself, but I don't like water and fish. So just throwing this out here. I'm gonna go have a talk with my pal, and you should talk to the fish.
Do fishes count as beasts?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Alright, glub it is.
So Flynt is going to proceed to kind of slink back for a second, because I would like to have a conversation with my ancestors in regards to some of this stuff going on, because I feel like the tie-in, especially occult-wise, and having the history that the lake does, it would be prevalent to this conversation of hey, what's so about this lake?
Okay. Are you going to try to have that conversation in the difficult way, or are you going to step sideways?
I would like to do it the difficult way this time, because I feel like this is a really important piece.
Okay. Then I will have you make a gnosis roll.
Okay.
And then a charisma and occult roll.
4 onk. So 3?
Yep.
Yep. And then charisma and what else? Oh, occult. 2, 3, 4. So 4 again. 2.
Okay.
Just 1.
That's enough. And while you are doing that, would anyone else like to do anything?
Can I step sideways?
You absolutely can.
What do I see?
I'll come back to that. Odhrán, anything you would like to do?
You just see a very tight smile appear on Odhrán's face when Rumi steps sideways, very much trying to hide a disapproving smile.
No. You see, after your suggestion, you see him go, I don't like talking to a fish. And
maybe we can find you a good frog or something. I don't know.
I don't.
Oh!
I have to make weird faces every time. They don't, and they're assholes.
The frogs or the fish?
Yes.
Both. Well,
fine.
I find it wonderful that you can do this. I'm really proud of you.
And he goes forward, and he kind of just looks at the ground and goes, glub glub, you little bitches.
And I'll have you make the gnosis and appropriate roll for beast speech. Okay,
what was the appropriate roll for beast speech again?
A charisma and animal ken.
Okay.
Is there anything you wanted to do?
So Rumi's stepping sideways, and Vrika is stepping sideways. So I think
No, Vrika
that's-
is doing beast speech.
Oh,
I am
and you
stepping,
are.
yeah.
All right, so we've got that covered.
Yes.
I'm gonna hang back and talk and talk to Pops.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Flynt, you are able to communicate with your ancestor, spirit that lingers around. What did you want to ask?
So, as first off, I guess I should ask because I'm sideways for this. Like I can see.
Oh, so when I said the easy way or the hard way, I was asking if you were stepping sideways to have the conversation.
Yes.
Okay, so you are.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
That was the positive.
Got it. All right, then you. Sorry. All right, hold on. Sorry, I misunderstood.
It's okay.
You don't need. You still need to make the gnosis roll.
Yep.
In order to step sideways, you need to look at your reflection in something.
So the water.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can use the water for it. Easy.
Perfect.
So I will actually come back to you because both
Perfect.
of you are doing so.
Yes.
Let's start with you then.
4 successes for the Noctis?
Gnosis.
Gnosis.
Yes. Okay, and then charisma plus animal can, so 1 die.
Yep. And then I will just need a gnosis roll from you.
nice.
And are you also using the water to step sideways?
Let KP answer first.
Okay.
Well, I got 1 success.
Yes.
On my 1 die. Yay.
Sweetie.
Yay. this is how it's gonna go.
Yeah. Perfect.
And I. So, do any of the fishes come up then?
After a second, you see a large trout kind of swim up towards the surface, look up at you with one eye.
Hey.
Well,
Turn to Finn. What the fuck you want me to
and
say?
Flynt's not there.
Oh.
Nope.
Fuck. Because you never gave me instructions on what to ask them.
Sounds like a personal problem.
I go, shit. How's it going down there?
Wet.
No shit. Just I hate them. No, I know it's. First off, if you're always wet, are you really wet? Never mind. I mean,
Keep asking these animal philosophical questions.
no, I mean, is there outside of the normal or anything weird?
No.
Okay. Fuck you too. No. You know that long metal tube thing down there? The one that is made by man. That shouldn't be down there, or at least it's not natural to be down there.
A lot of that, but yes. I know specifically what you're talking about.
How long has it been down there?
Not that long.
Is it?
A few years.
Does it move?
No.
Just sits there.
Yeah.
Okay. Outside of.
Oh wait, no, sorry. I've only been here a few years. Yeah, it's been here for a while.
Okay.
One of the issues with fish is they're not very smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm loving
It's
this.
also especially
living
why
for it.
Okay. So how's life?
Anything else you wanted? And it just flaps its tail and swims away.
Fucking waste of time. And I just walk off.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you a roll because I have a natural channel as one of my merits,
do.
part of spirit heritage. So I don't require rolls to cross into the Umbra.
You don't. You do still require a reflection, I believe.
I do. So as I turn, I face towards Father Oren. I look into Father Oren's eyes, and as I pass, I disappear.
And yeah, he just shimmers out of sight.
Don't like that.
Can I say that when he's staring into your eyes and then disappears, I'm behind where he was standing, and so I'm standing there and I go, yeah, I hate when they do that.
Right.
Why's it gotta be so spooky?
speaking of spooky, for those of you who just stepped sideways, the landscape around you changes dramatically. The lake itself vanishes. The water is gone. And you see a crater in its place. You see ruined towns and buildings. You see sunken boats. You do see a large submarine off a ways. Cobweb and rot sinking into it. It is very much dead and unnatural. It's not even an area that seems to be claimed by the Weaver. The trees around you do grow, and they get bigger, although they don't seem healthy. There's a sickness about the area. And you can see a lot of spirits, hundreds of them, teeming through where the water would be, through the dead towns, through the withering, you would almost say dying forest around you. And some of them seem normal nature spirits, various animal spirits, but some of them are you can tell that they are malevolent wraiths.
So, I guess a side question, because I don't, canonically, we can see each other because we're both there, yes?
Yes.
Holy shit!
What?
What?
Oh, I thought you meant holy shit, you came here to,
No, I'm not that impressed. What?
stolen land.
Well, yes.
Rumi, you do get the sense that this is more than stolen land. And to that, you can't pinpoint what it is unless you take a good look around, but there's something off beyond the ruined lives here.
Do you want to explore together, or are you talking to a friend?
I'll look around with you. Safety in numbers or whatever. I saw Scooby-Doo. So, let's start there and then I'll have my conversation and you can... Well, I do.
Of course.
Actually, since we're here alone, can I ask a question? What, Rosalina? Who's that?
An old enemy to a new friend.
And then? This is not Days of Our Lives. Let's try a little harder, huh?
Flynt, have you ever held a secret for somebody else?
Have I killed a lot of people? Yeah.
No, but has someone said, Flynt, here's something about me, don't tell anyone.
Okay, fair enough. What's the point?
You may ask me anything you wish about me, and I will answer you, I promise. But that is not my secret nor my knowledge to share.
Fine.
I will say this, though. I was sent to talk to Moonie. Not by spirits, but by people. My people. We send messages back and forth from time to time. One of the messages that came from the east, I think somewhere in Australia, was that there is a spirit, an old one, growing in Atlanta. And there was a foretelling of possibly fate changing because of it. Whether good or ill, I have no idea.
So they just sent you about your merry way and said, go spread the word?
No, I was in London. I was nearby. So they send messages from person to person and whoever's nearby.
I understand how communication works. I don't have a lot of it, but I get it. All
there
right.
are very few of my people left. We're secluded and a bit individualistic. And I, for one, am very strange. I fully realize that. I talk in riddles.
I'd like to point out I didn't say that. You said that. You said that about yourself.
Oh, I'm very aware.
Okay, just check.
Happens when you lose people.
You want to talk about loss. Not with me, and not here.
Same.
With that said, I understand you're keeping this secret, and that's fine. I would recommend that it not be a secret that could put any of us in danger.
It isn't.
But in correlation to what's going on, I feel like knowing about a big bad evil coming into town is probably pretty prevalent when we are on this island, and this is...
Separate thing. Completely separate thing.
Okay. That's all I ask. I don't give a fuck about the rest.
If anything I know comes as a warning, I will say it. That's one of the few reasons why I'm here. I came to bring a warning to Moonie, to Gracious Moon, and her tribe, and in doing so I accidentally met someone in an airport and ended up here.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So perky.
Oh yeah, no, very happy. Don't get it. Absolutely do not understand. But you know what? I accept it. It softens my big bad heart for just a little bit. It's the Tamagotchi, I think. Yeah, anyway, so this, though, not good. Definitely not normal. Understand the thing about the whole stolen land. Get that? This is not that, though.
This is more than that, yeah.
So, with that being said, definitely need to tell them what's going on.
But we need to look around a little bit more to see if we can figure out exactly what is causing this without necessarily revealing ourselves.
Yeah.
And Flynt,
Yes.
your ancestor spirit, what is it specifically? Is it a person? Is it a wolf? Is it another...
I'm gonna hit myself in my own feels because I feel like this would be the place to do it, and since I'm basically just playing a really bitchy version of myself, I would say it's my grandpa who would be part of both of that kind of realm. So
Okay.
but he does not come back like as a wolf situation, like he himself would have been a red tailed hawk. So
Okay, then Rumi, you would see the spirit of a hawk fly and land on Flynt's shoulder at this point.
I'll walk up ahead, give you some privacy.
you get better every time I talk to you. Don't know what it is, but I appreciate that about you.
I said I'm strange, not mean. And I slowly walk away a little bit.
Okay.
So, in this conversation, obviously, we've looked around. We've seen that things are very rotted, very decayed. There's sickness.
Yes.
My demeanor shifts, and I pause to look at my ancestor and kind of take a deep breath and like have to steel myself for a second. What's wrong with this place? It's sick, but I don't understand why it's sick.
It's corrupted.
Do we know what happened to it? Is there anything here? Or direction?
I'm sensing a lot of Wyrm taint and corruption. There is a very strong influence here, but I'm not sure from where.
So, storyteller side question, because I do have, because I am part of the Furies and we have that tie to the old way and the mysticism, would I be able to use my sense worm to see if there's more of a zoned in section of...
Absolutely.
Okay, I would like to obviously consult my ancestor in this and say, hey, I think if I take a second, I can try to pinpoint where it is. If we can get some more information, can I send you there to look?
I'll take a look. I will warn you, it will probably be dangerous. For me. But I can quickly.
Don't do anything that would put you at risk, but take a peek. And then I will use my sense worm.
Okay. Because you are currently in the penumbra, just make the roll. You do not need to make the gnosis roll.
Perfect.
To activate your gift.
Particularly
this gift.
Just one die?
Whatever the roll for sense worm is.
I don't actually know. Let me look. Thank you for your patience.
No worries.
It is wits plus awareness or occult, so it's whatever's higher.
Yep.
So 3. What's my awareness?
This call right there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so I'll use occult, so it's 5.
Okay.
Good. 3.
3? Okay. I'll come back to that. Rumi, what are you doing?
I am trying to sense which way is worse. Like, I'm tracking the cobwebs and the rot, and I'm trying to find where it's heaviest. Where this place is trying to make its home.
Give me either wits and basically the same roll, wits and awareness or wits and occult. Do you have sense the worm?
No, I do not.
Okay, that's fine. So it won't be as easy for you to do, but just from visual cues and whatnot, you'll be able to.
3 successes.
Okay. Your grandfather's spirit flies off, launches off your shoulder, and you see it take off following a path across the lake, not across the island. And you will notice that Rumi is actually following that path by looking down in the lake. And you will both see approximately at the same time, there appears to be some sort of structure at the bottom of the lake a ways off from you. It's a structure made of light and energy. It's dim, it is shadowed, it is between the wraiths and spirits flitting around through the lake and the corruption that you see dimming, just sucking the light and life out of everything. It's dim, but once you are following that path and looking for it, it appears to almost be a dome of some sort of light and energy.
I think that might be the Vaudo we were warned about.
And the corruption that you're seeing and the rot is thicker all around it, almost as if it's trying to overtake it.
You would call it the cairn, I think. I'm not sure. But it's being affected, corrupted.
You would know, you would be familiar, your tribe's term for it would be a stepwell. Particularly in the penumbra, they appear large, typically, and very vibrant and full of life. This is very different. You're not necessarily wrong, but it is unusual.
It's not right. It's dim and cold, where it should be full and lifelike. Something is either affecting it, or something is affected it a long time ago.
Well, yeah, Sherlock, we got that one down.
Yes, I know. So, should we venture forth? Because unless the rest of our party joins us here, we cannot wade into the lake. Especially considering you hate water. Right now, it's just a crater.
Are you gonna go back and tell them and ask if they want to come, or?
I was thinking maybe we explore the submarine first and then go back.
Okay.
Because everyone seems curious enough about that. We might as well learn something.
Can you let me do some stuff on this decision?
Like
You're
what?
gonna say yes, I'm gonna do what I want. Good try. I would like to draw a card.
Go ahead.
Okay.
And what did you draw?
Trickster. So the meaning for trickster. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's a person in your life, or about to enter your life, who cannot be trusted. Be cautious. You may save your heart, money, or both. Time exposes the trickster. So. She doesn't say anything. And you're welcome to ask if you choose to do so, just to clarify. If anybody wants to ask about the card, you're welcome to. I'm never going to volunteer it, though. Just so you know. But she glances at Rumi, and they kind of just...
And Rumi, you notice in the Umbra, the cards have almost a glow to them. It's like a bluish. You know how Muppets Christmas Carol, the Ghost of Christmas Past was filmed with a Muppet underwater. So that's how they got that effect. It's almost that like bluish, like reflecting off water look, just around the cards.
I'm stuck on the Muppets thing. Like, I was over here.
Listen, it's a theme.
That's one
theme.
of my favorite.
Okay.
Facts. Yeah.
Sorry.
Concerned about something?
No, I'm good. We should totally check out that submarine.
I kind of like the gaze that I have that's usually seeing through someone instead like focuses right on your eyes. It doesn't do well to lie to me.
Do I look like the kind of person who's ever fine?
No, but
Then I'm not lying, am I?
there's a first time for everything. Come on.
Okay. And that is where we are going to end this episode. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the first episode of ATL by Moonlight. We will be back next week with chapter 2. But until then, I'm going to go around the table one more time and let everyone know who you are and who you're playing.
All right. I'm Jesse Jerdak, and I'm playing Father Odhrán Maktir.
I am Noordin Kadir, and I'm playing Rumi.
I am KP, and I'm playing Vrika Bal.
I'm Autumn Ivy, and I am playing Flynt.
I'm Super Dillin, and I'm playing Michelagh, like Shillelagh.
Thank you all, and we'll see you soon.
Like a strange fruit out of season. Oh, you are bound to die alone. You will swing free on the breeze then. Oh, you are bound to die alone. At the end of the day, you with the lights out. Oh, you are bound to die alone. At the end of it all, there is no doubt. That you are bound to die alone. We are bound to die alone. Don't die and die on me now. We'll take a grave close to your home. Don't you fix your eyes on me now. We never said you'd come back home. They're coming closer just to kill us. Don't cry on me now. No, they ain't never gonna help us. Close to his grave, we'll build our home. They're coming closer just to kill us. Don't you fix your eyes on me now. You know they're never gonna help us. We never said you'd come back home. End of the way when the thieves tell. Oh, you are bound to die